everybody. So, today I've got I got a fun little change for you. I might only do one reaction depending on what happens to my channel after this. Because some people just get very, very hurt super, super easily. They're super, super soft and get their fifis hurt by something that, But I'm going to react to her because she has everything that I'd been dealing with, minus pregnancies. She has had iron deficiency, anemia. And I think she still does. And I'm going to explain to you why. Here we go.
Hey everyone, it's Victoria with Nutrition by Victoria, and
we're at 1.5, by the way. I cannot stand them at normal speed. I don't know what it is with these carb eaters, but they have to speak so dang slowly.
Sorry I've been MIA lately, but I have a little surprise to share, and that is I am currently 18 to 19 weeks pregnant.
I really hope that she's not almost constantly, I hope she does not have hyperemesis, because that is a bad sign to me. Okay, here's what happened. Here's how I'm going to mention this. My friend got pregnant. She's a little bit younger than me. She's like 20. She's like early 20s, 22, 23. 23 now, I think. Yeah. And she was pregnant, but it didn't last long. She just would not stop being morning sick. And her body's not in the greatest of shape right now. And I guess the hospital realized that because she has a lot of other health issues. I'm not going to get fully into that. Not really any of my business. I don't need to tell the whole world. But long story short, she had to have it taken out. They had to take it out. So, because her body just... I think she did take medication for it, but it was just... she just got way too sick. And I fear that this could happen to Victoria as well. Because if you listen to her talk, my friend was lucky she didn't have this happen, but Victoria seems to be. Because my friend eats just a regular standard diet with meat and stuff, but this could happen to her. This could happen to Victoria.
With baby number 3. So this is my third vegan pregnancy, my third high-carb, low-fat, plant-based vegan pregnancy. I'm very fertile eating this way.
It doesn't mean that your eggs are... How do I say this? It doesn't mean that the eggs themselves are healthy and that the baby is going to last. That means nothing. Just because you keep being able to conceive, it doesn't mean anything. Your body could be screaming out to you, hey, I'm unhealthy, feed me proper food, do this, do that.
I don't eat overt fats, and I had no problem conceiving, and I've talked about this concept in the past. You need to have fats in your diet to have healthy hormonal functioning.
You will. Eventually, you will. You will. You're going to shut down. You're going to be like Freely, and eventually, you're going to be one of those ones that's going to go on for another 5 years. And then you'll become Freely, where you won't be able to have a period anymore. Okay? You won't. I have a bad feeling your baby might not even make it all the way through. I'm not saying it won't, but there's a huge possibility here. You don't eat anything of nutritional value. Candy, fruit, and fries and potatoes and rice, they're not, they don't have any nutritional value whatsoever. And especially not candy. Are you insane?
And that is definitely a myth, but you definitely need to have a normal, be within a normal BMI range. So if you're underweight and you're trying to conceive, you'll definitely want to work on at least being an 18 point.
Listen to how heavily she's breathing here. I did that once in this whole entire recording so far. I was just trying to figure out my thoughts, you know? This isn't attacking, okay? It's observing. So, guys, you're too soft and you take things way too personally. You twist words. Stop twisting words. Stop taking things too soft. Stop taking things too personally. Or stop being so soft, rather. If you don't like my content, dislike button. Click it. I dare you.
5 or higher BMI.
Or click out of it. I check my analytics all the time, and half my videos aren't even watched all the way through. So, yeah.
In order to make that possible, because we do need to have sufficient amounts of body fat to...
My subscriptions keep going up, down, up, down, up, down. Normal. Like I said in my last video, I don't care. It's not about money for me. It's about having fun and educating. But I think this kind of education deserves to be free.
To support a pregnancy. So I want to talk a little bit about how my pregnancy has went so far. So basically, I feel really good. This has been a pretty easy pregnancy. All my pregnancies have been easy. This one, I haven't been pregnant for 5 years.
Okay. I don't know how I feel about this. She says it's been easy, but why have you been gone so long then? Are you leaving something out that we don't know? Or are you having problems that you're just not willing to admit?
Violet just turned 5, so a bit of a gap. I'm 35 and a half. I'll be 36 in June.
And somehow, by some miracle, you're surviving on nothing but fruit, hash browns, grains, carbs.
So I am considered a geriatric pregnancy because I'm over the age of 35. But the sonogram that I just had yesterday showed that baby was super healthy. Everything is on track for growth. But they're not, baby's measuring big for 18 weeks and then normal for 19 weeks, but certain areas like aren't as developed. So when I went for my first sonogram,
that's not good. That's not good. Not as developed? That's not good. No.
Which I had done at 13 weeks, they actually thought I was over 14 weeks because I went to have certain tests done, first trimester screen, and the baby was too big for it. So my husband and I are both really tall.
Too big where? Too big how? You're probably just bloating it up with all the... Because I'm sure it takes on a bunch of water too from all the sugars and stuff. You're not eating any protein. You don't eat any protein. I'm very sure you don't. And if you sneak stuff, clearly... Clearly it's not enough because it's not helping your breathing at all. Like, you're...
My family in particular, I am the shortest of my siblings. I have a brother who's 6'5" and a sister who's 6'1". I am almost 6 foot tall myself. I just missed the 6 foot mark by a quarter of an inch. So really tall for both of us. My husband's 6'2". He's the tallest in his family, but my children are both 90th percentile or higher for height. So I'm
What about their brain development? What about their overall development? Huh? You don't give that any thought, do you?
Expecting this baby to, follow suit with its siblings. So my vegan...
By the way, I'm not blaming the kids. If anyone thinks I am, you're sick. No. Victoria? I remember watching a vegan deterioration video on this about your kids, one of your kids having a weird issue with their eyes or whatever. Girl, you're sick. Get your children checked out properly. I actually forgot about that momentarily, but I do remember about that now. You are sick feeding your children this diabetes diet.
And high carb vegan diet is beautifully supporting the growth of my baby and my pregnancy.
Hyper vegan? Let me go back.
90th percentile or higher for height. So I'm expecting this baby to, follow suit with its siblings. So my vegan, high carb vegan diet is...
What is hyper vegan? Does anybody know? Does that mean the lowest amount of protein possible? What?
Beautifully supporting the growth of my baby and my pregnancy so far. I am about almost halfway through the pregnancy and I've gained about 10 pounds so far, which is right on track with where I'm supposed to be in terms of weight gain.
Does that mean she's cheating? Does hyper vegan mean she's cheating? Because hyper carnivore means 70% or more of your diet being meat. So does hyper vegan mean she's cheating? Victoria, we're actually hyper carnivore, not hyper vegan, so yeah, you got it all wrong. Oh, hypo carnivore, by the way, is 70% plants. Actually, that's really what that is. It's not hyper vegan. It's hypo carnivore, which is not healthy for human beings because we're hyper. So there's that. And I think we're healthier the more meat we eat. Have any of you guys ever heard me say carnivore's the only way? Carnivore's the only way. It's the most optimal. I'm pretty sure that's what I've said. So the people who come here and say, like, oh, carnivore isn't like blah, 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 and I'm going to eat this for my thyroid because I know that that's what I need because you don't know anything. Look up the Neanderthals. Look up, because around that, we were born around the same, we were, blah, 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 we came into the evolutionary tree. We started climbing onto that tree 350,000 years ago, and that's about the same amount of time that the Neanderthals came in as well. Neanderthals are more European, but we're the same age in terms of DNA. We really haven't changed. Sapiens have not really changed all that much. Probably a few facial differences. Maybe. Anyways, but I digress. Yeah, so we're hyper carnivore. Not hyper vegan, not hypo carnivore. We are hyper carnivore. But if that means you're cheating, Victoria, you may as well go in full circle there and eat full carnivore. Or at least like 90%. So that your body can be can at least work on some of those plants still. And, honestly though, now that I think about it, she'd probably be better off adding more and more meat every 2 weeks and then gradually upping it every 2 weeks, because the more malnourished you are, the worse your keto flu is. I think that's another thing as well. The more malnourished you are, the worse the keto flu is. Oof. Because now, if I have one full day of a bunch of carbs. For whatever reason, I get some anxiety. That's about it. I don't get the shakes. I don't get nauseated. I don't get pukey. Maybe sometimes I might. It's not as common, but it will happen.
The most weight gain I experienced was when I transitioned from the first trimester to the second trimester. My breasts got bigger. My varicose veins showed up. I started having issues with varicose veins toward the end of my...
I don't think that's supposed to happen normally. Because my mom never said anything about varicose veins on her. I don't think that's supposed to happen.
Second pregnancy. Now my right leg is kind of like full blown a mess, but it really doesn't bother me. I just wear compression stockings when...
It doesn't... See? Yeah, there you go. You just told on yourself. This pregnancy's so easy. Meanwhile, you're having issues with your leg? Girl, come on. These people always tell themselves.
When it does, it's just something genetically that I am predisposed for.
No, I don't think so. Although, maybe standing for long periods of time and working yourself out to the point of like exhaustion all the time, because I know you do that as well, working yourself despite having the baby. No, that's not good for you either, so there's that.
And when I transitioned from trimester 1 to 2, I gained 5 pounds in like a week from just like that increase of fluid to support the pregnancy. You know, the baby makes a transition into being a fully developed baby when you hit the second trimester and your placenta's formed, and then the baby really takes off in terms of growth. So first trimester, I really pumped out a lot of content for you guys, and I did tell you that I was pregnant. I could hide my belly, okay, because I really didn't start showing until I hit the second trimester, but I did have a little bit of a pooch starting to develop in my lower abdomen in my last few videos, if you check them out on my YouTube channel, because I believe the last video I filmed was about 10 or 11 weeks pregnant, where I did like
here. Holy. That's me when I ran from the store to the car in the rain. But, like, girl.
what I eat in a day. And then when I did my vacation, what I eat on vacation video, I was about 12, 13 weeks at that.
I apologize for my computer. This is part of the reason I stopped using OBS again.
Time. And yeah, so first trimester, I worked a lot. I've been continuing to do nutrition coaching. So if you're interested in that.
Don't take it. Don't take it. Don't. I know it sounds like a car. I'm sorry, guys. My computer's really struggling. Don't take her advice. No.
Please sign up, because my coaching group is just amazing. Everybody's participating. Really great questions all the time, helping people to troubleshoot to get their goals. My coaching program is doing really well. That's, you know, all the in-depth information that you want in regards to eating a high carb, low fat diet, how it works, how to make it work for you. And then I'm also doing one-on-one coaching calls as well. So I just haven't been as active with social media, because after I got back from vacation, we went to Florida, took the kids to Disney World for a day. I was really tired. I think because I hadn't...
Being tired is one thing, I guess, but that tired to where... Girl.
Taking a break at all from fitness, from life, from working, and just being really active with my kids.
You're malnourished too. You're malnourished as well. Girl.
I kind of hit a wall after traveling, where I just got really tired out. Plus, life has been really busy too. Violet turned 5. We've had holidays, birthday parties. I've needed to do a lot of adulting type stuff.
I need to figure out how hot my computer is. I don't know how to check that. Any tech people in the channel, show me how. I have Windows 11.
At the same time, I've needed to slow down, and I really didn't realize how much or how active I was in my life until my body kind of forced me to slow down. So first trimester, I didn't adjust anything. I kept working out. I run 3 days a week. I cycle almost every day. I do yoga and rebounding, and I'm still doing all of...
With a malnourished body. We're gonna get into the diet here. It's taken a while. Sorry, guys.
Those activities, I've just had to make modifications. So, and same with my diet. When I conceived, I was eating a really high fruit-based diet and not having as much starch and lots of vegetables. And then I ate that way up until about week 10, where I just felt like I really needed to eat more, and I needed more different foods in my diet in order to meet my calorie needs. I think I was eating about 4,000 calories a day.
I'm sorry, guys.
And so I added the starch.
I'm trying to feel at the back of my computer, because like that's really distracting, and I don't feel anything major going on, but like in terms of heat. But this is OBS for you guys. OBS is horrific. This woman, high fruit, you're not gonna, no. High fruit is, no.
Starches back in, and just, standard high carb, low fat, vegan, fruits, starches, vegetables, sugar to taste. I was eating actually a lot more sugar too. So my body really went through like a transition where it was used.
God, her stomach, man. She must feel like bleh.
Being not pregnant, and now, needed to put on a little bit more stores in order to support the pregnancy. So after that transition where I went from first trimester to second trimester, and my body's forced me to slow down, and my diet changed in order to support the pregnancy, I feel like I've plateaued again. So my energy level now is much better. I finally came out of, the imbalance that I needed to correct through my diet.
You're not gonna correct an imbalance through just sugar. You're not. You're not. Nope. No siree, ma'am. In this case, sorry. Well, it's no siree, Bob, but I don't know. I don't know how you'd actually say that. No siree, Bob. I'll redo it. No siree, Bob. Nope, you're not gonna. No.
And just changing the way that I did fitness and did my life in general, and just working in more rest time. I feel.
It's when I play the video. Holy crap. Anyway, are you ever gonna get to your friggin' diet change? Or what? Are you just gonna sit here blabbering on for an hour? Because I want to get to your diet.
A lot better now. So what has changed is that my diet's still very high in fruit. I enjoy eating fruit-based with this pregnancy because I have had some food aversions, particularly to sweet potatoes. I went through an aversion of oranges. I still can't do a whole lot of citrus. I've really craved a lot of savory foods, like salty, not like...
You want meat. You need meat. You want and need meat.
Starchy, savory. I can't do sweet starches at all. I've liked a lot of higher protein vegetables like peas, mushrooms, broccoli.
Mushrooms are not a vegetable. They're not a vegetable. They're a fungus. Have you learned anything? Have you? I don't think you have, ma'am.
Salads. I did go through an aversion to pineapple. So weird tropical fruit things, but then I had a really intense craving for dried mango, which I don't eat mango because...
You should love mango. Mangoes are like the sweetest thing on the planet. The highest in sugar out of almost all the fruits. And they're huge.
I get a delayed hypersensitivity reaction to mango, and I've had it pretty bad in the past, but I did...
The what? Hypersensitivity?
Because I get a delayed hypersensitivity reaction to...
Delayed hypersensitivity? What kind of reaction is that? What does that mean? Anybody know?
Mango, and I've had it pretty bad in the past, but I did give in and eat a little bit of dried mango, and I did end up with a little bit of a rash on my face.
Whoa. Girl, I'm curious to know what your body temperature is. You're probably riddled with fungi. Fungi? Fungi? I don't know. I don't know the proper way. Fungi or fungi? Fungi? I don't like fungi because it's fungus, right? So
it cleared up though. But I was like, okay, I can't eat that again. So my cravings have all been for like high carb, low fat foods.
of course. That's the way most standard diets are anyway, for some idiotic reason. It's 2023. You would think it would have fixed itself by now. This is ridiculous. We've been eating the same way for 100 years almost. And what good is it doing us? What good is it doing us? You haven't changed anything other than taking out meat. You haven't. I don't even know how you're alive now because of 3 babies. And I don't even know how you managed to... How? Like, how did you conceive? The only way I could see it is if you're cheating.
Lots of like vegetable sushi. And
vegetable sushi? Okay, what's in the sushi? Because you don't eat tofu. Do you?
Just like fresh fruit in general. Like, we're moving into summer and I cannot wait until the watermelons get better. I have had good watermelons lately from Walmart. I've been posting them on my Instagram. That they've had really good watermelons considering the time of year it is here.
Girl, I had anemia and I never even had it that bad. Just talking? Oh, girl.
We transitioned out of winter to spring. And I've been working the banana smoothies. In terms of my sugar intake, that's went back down. And I'm just having sugar to taste when desired. I am eating more nutrient-dense foods versus refined foods. I feel better when
What? Fruit really isn't that dense. There's more phytochemicals and crap. Phytochemicals. Chemical is the only word that's valid in this statement, by the way. So, yeah.
I do this. I feel like when I have too much refined foods, I don't feel as good. And it's because the needs of the baby are for calories, but also for nutrient density.
Exactly. More so nutrient density. So you might want to reconsider this carnivore thing. Instead of being hypo-carnivore or hyper-vegan, go all the way. Go hyper-carnivore.
I am supplementing with spirulina. That's what I'm considering as my multivitamin because I have been tracking my calorie and nutrient intake in Chronometer at least once a week just to see that I'm hitting all of my nutrient needs. And the spirulina gives me the extra boost of iron that I need.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Clearly it doesn't. You wouldn't be struggling to talk and breathe.
I'm pregnant, and then I'm meeting everything else with my diet. So having a high fruit diet and then a high calorie diet. I'd say my calorie intake right now is probably like 3,000, 4,000 a day. I believe it's fallen back towards like the 3,000 to 3,500 calorie range because my weight gain did slow down significantly. Like I gained like 2 pounds in my first trimester, then I gained 5 pounds like out of nowhere, and then I've gained 3 pounds in my second trimester so far. So for a 10-pound weight gain total. And like I said, I'm almost halfway through. With my first pregnancy, I gained 22 pounds. With my second pregnancy, I gained about 35 pounds. So this one I'm expecting to be within that 25, 35 pound range, which is normal for a healthy pregnancy. Everything else is checked out, like I'm not anemic or anything like that.
Okay. If you say so. You sound anemic. You sound low iron, for sure. Probably borderline at best. I don't think you're going to be able to have another baby, woman.
In terms of my diet, I am sticking to raw till 4. Like I said, I've had a lot of days where I've just eaten like fruits and vegetables, but then I'll have days where, I do raw till 4. So I'm really like going between like all raw fruit based with like cooked vegetables.
Even, what's her name? Henya Mania couldn't do raw till 4. Even she couldn't do it. That says something. Girl, come on. I bet your kids watch you like, how come my friends don't do this? I'm sure their friends don't do this either, or are all of their friends eating the same way you are?
Vegetables added into on some days, and then raw till 4 where I'm having like a starch-based dinner versus like a fruit and vegetable-based dinner. So I feel really good doing that. And yeah, I think that is it in terms of like, oh yeah, I want to talk about my exercise and how that's changed. So when I hit my second trimester, I noticed that running, I had to go slower because of.
You shouldn't be running at all. I don't see the harm in maybe walking, but that's a lot of stress on the baby. I mean, yeah, I know you know that, but I really don't think you should run at all. I just, no.
When you're pregnant, your estrogen and your progesterone levels are elevated. And when I was breastfeeding, my estrogen level was normal, but my progesterone level was still elevated. So with that comes joint or ligament laxity in my case, where my ligaments are just looser and I'm already hypermobile to begin with. So adding that extra
Hypermobile. Now, when I eat a whole bunch of sugar in one go, I'm like really, I feel like jittery, but I also feel like I could walk and run. Like, I feel like I'm floppy and just. Is that what she means by hypermobility?
laxity to my ligaments makes it so that I'm not as stable doing a lot of things. So I noticed like my low back and my sacrum area has not been as stable starting like since I hit my second trimester. Running wise, I have a little bit of pain in my right hip if I don't stretch properly, and I just have to go a lot slower. So right now my running times is funny. Like some days I can run like a 10-minute mile pace, and then most days I'm running like an 11-minute mile pace now. But I'm really just enjoying that my body is still able to jog, and I'm just enjoying jogging to begin with, or just in general, because I've shifted from, being like an athlete who can handle, moderate to high intensity exercise a few times a week to where like now I can only handle low to moderate intensity exercise.
You shouldn't be running or doing any of that stuff at all. The diet you eat, girl.
When I exercise. And I'd say I'm exercising about an hour a day, combination of jogging or cycling.
That's too much. Way too much.
Sometimes both, depending on the weather, depending on how much energy I have. I'm rebounding every day from like 10 to 30 minutes, and I do yoga every day.
Oh my gosh. What is wrong with these people?
I do the majority of my resistance training on my rebounder. I have a cellerciser, and I find that being on the cellerciser, I was rebounding prior to pregnancy, and then rebounding in pregnancy, I was like, I'm not sure how this is going to go. It feels so good. It's like my favorite form of exercise when it comes to resistance training, because it is combating the ligament laxity that I'm dealing with the hormone shifts of being pregnant. So it feels really good to rebound, really good to like just continue to keep my muscle strength and work out in a way.
You're not going to be able to keep your muscle strength, and here's why. You don't eat protein either. You don't eat any protein. Oh, but you get your protein in fruits and veggies too. It all adds up. No, it does not. It does not. You're losing muscles. You are. Oh my Lord.
That feels really good, because that's what's shifted in my exercise, is that I can't tolerate a high level of intensity, so everything I do, I just want it to feel good. And I mean, exercise should feel good in general, but sometimes, when you're not pregnant and you don't have a lot of physical demand on your body, you can really push it in training, and it does feel good. It hurts, but it feels good, right? Well, being pregnant, I find that I just have to focus on the feeling good. Like I might feel some burn when I'm doing like resistance training, but it's like a good feeling. But in terms of cardio tolerance, all of that for me has to just feel good. Like I can't push myself, or else I'm going to pay for it with like extra fatigue or a headache or something like that. So that's really what
you shouldn't be exercising at all. Girl, no. Just stop. 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 Someone like you? No. No.
shifted. I am still outdoor riding. I was outdoor riding prior to pregnancy. And then I rode all through my first trimester. And now that I'm in my second trimester, I find I have less tolerance for hills. I can't ride every single day, especially doing elevation, unless I'm doing like an easy ride, like with my kids around the neighborhood or something. And I do easy riding on my stationary bike, like in between outdoor riding sessions. But again, with cycling outdoor on my road bike, I'm finding that it has to feel good. The duration I'm out there for has decreased, so a 30 to 45 minute ride feels best. And like I said, I've decreased my elevation because I just don't have as much of a tolerance. My low back isn't as stable too, so sometimes when you're doing a lot of hills, your back takes a lot of that if you don't have core strength. And so because
You don't have core strength, honey, because you don't eat protein. If you were to eat protein, and I'm not talking from tofu, actual protein that we ate for 350,000 years as Homo sapien. Even the Homo sapiens ate protein. So whether or not you have any Neanderthal DNA in you or not, blah, whether you have DNA from Neanderthals or not, is what I meant to say. You need to eat protein from animal sources. You need to eat fat from animal sources. You're not going to have all this. You're not going to have all these struggles if you just ate properly.
My core is popped out. I don't have as much stability. But yeah, otherwise, like, I feel really good.
How do you laugh about this stuff? How?
Exercise feels really good, and everything, is just going really well. So I want to make a pregnancy Q&A video, so leave any of those questions down below. I'm also going to ask that on Instagram for you guys to post your questions, and also leave any comments down below if you have any for me. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will continue to make update videos about my pregnancy, and also let me know if there's any topics about nutrition you'd like me to discuss as well. All right, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.
Well, finally my computer can get a break. And guys, this is insane. Like, how can she possibly think this is good for her? It's clearly not working for her at all. It's not. She's miserable. I know she's laughing about it, but it's just to cover her misery and whatever. I don't know how these people do it, but yeah. So she's fruitarian, pretty much. Raw vegan. This isn't gonna work out for her very well. These kids, man. I don't know how they're still alive. Ugh. I just don't. And I bet you her kids feel horrible. And she's subjecting her kids to this insanity. Girl, stop. You need to stop this. You should let your kids do whatever the heck they want to do. If they want to try cheese or meat, you should let them try cheese and meat. And eggs too. They should be allowed to try it. Like, I hate these narcissistic... I hate this whole narcissism thing with society now. Oh, why is everybody such a dang narcissist? Why? I care more about your kids than you do, apparently, Victoria. Girl, if those kids were here... You know what they'd be getting. And maybe the kids do get cheat meals. But I don't think it's very often. I bet you she's very forceful. And it's like, nope, you're not eating that. You're eating this. Eat your dang fries. Like... I don't know. Anyway, guys, that's all for this video. And, yeah, I will see you in the next one. Don't worry, I won't go away forever. Maybe for long periods of time, but not forever. So don't lose hope. I'll be back. Later, guys.